3, 2, 1. Hey, it's Wild Josh from Geek-Cetera, and I'm joined by Chase and Ezra. And in this video, we're going to talk about good movie trailers versus bad movie trailers. Now, let's get geeky. All right, so in conversation, we've been talking a lot about trailers, specifically the trailer for The Mandalorian. We talked about a trailer for another movie called Love and Monsters. So it kind of got us into the idea of what makes a good trailer versus what makes a bad trailer. So we decided to come up with a list of just our personal favorites, good and bad, and then kind of talk about why they're good and bad. So I guess I'll start off with bad. I looked at a few different ones, and there was a good amount to pick from. I almost picked the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom one, because that was a pretty bad trailer. And then I almost picked the Venom trailer, which wasn't that great either. But I ended up going with Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I went back a little bit because when I rewatched it, it was so much worse than the others that I had to choose it. It was just super corny. Now, it came out in 1991, so I understand that maybe they didn't get the whole thing figured out by then. But there was good trailers back then too, and this was just so not good. It had that guy who's got that voice, in a world where, and he's like just like the whole time talking, and it's so bad. I can't even tell you. It's just terrible. It's got a lot of Arnold and a lot of cheesiness, and it's just awful. Go back and watch it. That's the one I picked for bad. For good, I picked Inception. The reason I picked Inception was because I thought, just watching the trailer, and I remember going back, like thinking back to 2010 when that trailer came out. It made me so badly want to see that movie, even though I didn't know what was going on, because that movie is such a mind bender anyways. Just seeing the trailer made me think, like, I don't know what's going on, but I want to know what's going on. And it drew me in to want to go see that movie. So I picked Inception as my good one. That's what I had. I almost went with, for good ones, Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie. And I almost went with Thor Ragnarok, but I went with Inception. Chase, what did you choose?
All right, so for bad, I chose Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I chose that one because it is recent, and it didn't feel well put together. They kind of gave away a bit too much of the movie, and the scenes didn't flow well together in the trailer, and it didn't do as good a job building hype. Part of that issue may have been the fact that they released that a week after they released the first Mandalorian season trailer, and I was just like, who cares about Rise of Skywalker? I don't need that. I just need more Mandalorian trailers, and I'll be happy. But that's what I chose for my bad one, and then for my good one, I did choose Thor Ragnarok. That's a hilarious movie, but the trailer did a good job of blending the comedy side of the movie in with enough of the plot points to like draw you into the story, but not enough to give away what the story is going to be and how it's going to go. And the music choice is just solid. It had a really good soundtrack in the trailer as well.
I agree with that. I love a good soundtrack.
So you guys started with good.
We started with our bad.
Mm-hmm. We did.
I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna start with the good one because the one that I picked was also a Marvel one. It's Spiderman Homecoming, and I just watched that trailer again, and it's a good trailer because it gives you enough information to kind of understand what the general plot is going to be, but not enough information to spoil it. It's enough to get you hyped on it, but all the action scenes it shows are very, very vague. It shows you like the main villain, and it shows you like one of the side villains once, very briefly. You can't even tell who it is. So it's just things like that. It just keeps it a little bit more.
Doesn't give anything away.
Exactly. It doesn't give anything away too soon. And like all of the information that it does give away, you literally see in the first like 15 to 30 minutes of the movie anyway. So, it sets up like the whole like love interest and who like the main villain is, but doesn't give away the plot twist that the main villain is actually the love interest's dad. So like, it leaves room to be surprising and doesn't give too much away. That's like the main thing that I think is good about that trailer. And it gets you excited for the movie. I remember watching it and being very excited to see it in theaters.
Yeah.
So for bad, and this trailer literally spawned this idea of this video because it just popped up my YouTube feed the other day and I watched it. The trailer for Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. And this trailer is horrendous. And the top comment on the video that I watched said, "This isn't a trailer. This is literally just a summary of the entire movie." And that's exactly what it is. It's like every shot that there's like a pivotal plot moment is shown in the trailer. From like Anakin being assigned to like spy on the Chancellor, to the Chancellor trying to like lure him to the dark side, to the reveal that the Chancellor is the Sith they're looking for. And it literally shows Mace Windu and his band like trying to arrest him. It shows fight scenes between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. It's like literally nothing in Order 66 like is shown too. It hasn't like it quotes him saying like every Jedi is an enemy of the Republic. So there's literally like no surprises in that movie at that point. None. Because every single like, and yeah, some of the stuff, Chase, I know you're going to say, you're going to see it coming anyway because you know
Yes.
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
But literally everything is shown.
Mhm.
Like any little like surprise in there, there's like nothing.
I agree though. It's hard because in that movie you know what's going to happen because you have to get to the start point of episode 4. But Ezra's entirely right where it's like, come on, like we don't need to see all of the movie. We still get some like freedom. Like there's a long time that happens between episode 2 when that ends and when episode 3 starts even. So it's like from episode 2 to 4, you've got this large chunk of time. You don't need to give us the entire movie. Like
yeah, it's
I agree.
It's pretty crazy. Like every step of the way. Like yes, we know it starts here, it ends here, but like every step of the way is shown in the trailer.
Yeah.
You could literally like watch the trailer and you don't even have to watch the movie anymore. Like pretty much. It's I don't know. There's the only thing like that it doesn't show is Vader getting chopped up and burned to pieces. Like that's the only thing in that movie that you don't see in the trailer.
I don't really remember the trailer too much, but I do remember being surprised by Order 66.
It's basically, he doesn't say execute Order 66, but the quote is, every Jedi is now an enemy of the Republic. That's what he says. So you basically know that, and you see clones marching into the Jedi Temple. So it's like,
go back and watch it.
It's ridiculous. It's literally an exact summary of the entire movie.
It makes me a little sad though that we picked 2 Star Wars movies for bad.
Well,
because we love Star Wars so much.
They need to get their act together and make
I still think
trailers.
that Star Wars Episode 3 is a good movie. I like Star Wars Episode 3. Rise of Skywalker is a 50-50 for me, but
I didn't think that thinking back when that trailer came out, I thought it was kind of cool when she jumped over the X-wing. No,
I hated that. I hated that.
I thought it was cool.
Nah.
I think Chase would agree with me in saying this, that like I think what makes a trailer good is not revealing too much. And the sole purpose of a trailer is supposed to be to get the audience excited. It's not to summarize the plot. Like maybe like allude to what the plot might be like, but not summarize the entire story.
So I think the biggest proof of that is go back to Mandalorian Season 1 trailer. We have no idea, first of all, that the child even exists. They hid that, and that's something you get in episode 1, and they hid that from every single episode that they put into the trailer. And then Moff Gideon, who ends up being the big baddie, they hide from you too. So like all of the kind of major twists you don't get in that first trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chase, what like from judging on the Mandalorian trailer, what is the plot of the Mandalorian Season 1?
Bounty hunter.
He's a bounty hunter that does bounty hunting.
He's just a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
That's the plot.
Yep.
Like, does it need to be any more? Do they need to explain any more of the plot from the trailer? No. So exactly that's the point of the trailer. That's all it should be.
Yep. It did such a good job. Meanwhile, is when you look at like bad trailers, when you're talking about the Star Wars Episode 3 trailer, it shows you the entire movie. Why do you need to go see that? So I think from a bad trailer, like they need to restrict themselves on what they're showing. Like if you look at Rise of Skywalker trailer too, we don't need to know that Palpatine is alive until the opening crawl. Not even. You should have excluded that from the opening crawl. It should be a complete surprise on Palpatine until you see Kylo Ren on Exegol. That's a major plot point that, first of all, came out of thin air. That's a whole other issue. But then, like, I'm kind of sad that we knew that in the trailer. Sure, they wanted to try and build hype back up for it after half of the Star Wars fan base got mad at them for this entire sequel trilogy, and they want to pull in some fan service, but no.
See, thing is though, is like it even failed there because at least I was saying like, I don't want to see that. Like, I don't want to see the Emperor in Star Wars again. Like, he's dead. Like, just like we don't want the fan service. We just want a good movie, and they ultimately like failed us in that regard.
That actually, that actually makes me ask the question: is the trailer inherently based off, like, is the trailer proportionally good to what the movie is? Because Rise of Skywalker wasn't a great movie. It was not a great trailer. Thor Ragnarok was a fantastic movie, fantastic trailer. So can you have a good trailer with a bad movie?
You can have a bad movie with a bad trailer with a good movie.
So you can have a bad trailer with a good movie, like Star Wars Episode 3. But can you have a good trailer with a bad movie?
Trailer with a bad movie? Yeah, I would say you can. I think you can.
Oh, I'd like.
You can have a trailer that doesn't tell you a whole lot.
Because the movie doesn't tell you a whole lot.
Of suspense and has great music, and then when you get into the movie, it stinks. It's terrible. It's a 2-hour waste of time. I think
it's possible. I just think it's probably way more
good
rare.
With a bad movie, probably.
But I feel like
for the a specific instance.
Yeah, I know. I think for the most part, it's probably proportional though. If you see a bad trailer, you know it's probably not going to be a great movie.
Yeah, generally.
There's always exceptions.
Men in
to
Black
the rule,
International.
Yeah, that was kind of a good trailer.
Was it?
Was that a bad movie?
The movie was terrible. It was awful.
I mean, the trailer was like, oh, I want to, like, it made me want to see it. I never actually saw it, but
I don't think it made me want to see it.
Okay, well, that's just you.
I thought the concept of having Thor and Valkyrie was
what
made me want to see it, but not the trailer.
Yeah, that's
a buddy cop film between Thor and Valkyrie. So I was like, yeah, this is cool, and the trailer didn't really get me anywhere.
So if we could sum it up, a bad trailer tells you too much, has maybe a very poor soundtrack
and scenes that don't fit together. That was something that I noticed about Rise of Skywalker, is like it was just a lot of random scenes from different points in the movie that didn't connect.
Yeah. Well, that was a lot with the movie too, right? It jumps
it's
like right at the beginning.
Yeah,
it's like boom, you're
agree.
like jumping, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
A good trailer though is gonna have I would say a decent soundtrack. Doesn't have to have like some like pop song or some like popular song.
Yeah.
But like because Inception didn't. It just had good background sound that like sucked you in. Like
same thing with Mandalorian. It all depends on the vibe you're going for. It has to fit your theme.
It doesn't tell you too much.
Yeah.
But makes you curious enough to want to know, to see the movie or see the show to know more.
Yeah, and I'd say like it needs action sequences, but they can be completely disjointed. Like you don't even need to know. Like, okay, the second Spider-Man movie trailer, I didn't pick this one because I thought the first one was better. But like some of the action scenes, like didn't even have a villain in it. You just saw like Spider-Man flying into an explosion. You didn't know what was going on, but it had an action scene, and they were all kind of like that until the Mysterio reveal. Yeah. But like that was. I
kind of want to go back to Mandalorian season 2 trailer for this again. It's a good thing to keep breaking down on. But when you watch that, when you see the X-Wings and then you see him crashing on the ice planet, those two scenes did not feel connected in the trailer. And so it gave you like two different, but then you get to the episode, which we're going to talk about here in a bit, and it's from the same episode. It's from the same sequence of events. They just put it together in such a way where it doesn't feel like they're giving you anything, but they're giving you a lot. I don't know.
Again, so like action scenes are a must, but like make them disjointed. Like make them not connect to each other. Make them confusing. Sure, fine, but like they need to be there to like get the hype up. You know.
I think that's it. So what do you guys think? Let us know what your favorite and least favorite movie trailer is in the comment section. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and so you'll never miss out on any of our upcoming content. And thanks for watching, and all the promise of a movie is in the trailer.
Yes! He's a friend from work!